Welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping right into a really fascinating journey today, tracing the massive physical and digital networks that make modern business communication possible. We interact with these systems every single day, completely taking for granted the incredible logistics moving just behind the scenes. Because honestly, whether you're a local mom-and-pop startup or a massive multinational, how fast you move your information absolutely dictates how well you survive.
But before we get totally lost in those complex networks, let's just ground ourselves for a second. At its absolute core, communication is just the fundamental exchange of ideas between a sender and a receiver. You have a message, and I need to understand it. Simple enough, right? But the real magic, and what we're going to focus on today, is the medium. How exactly does that message travel? And so, here is the big question for us today. How in the world does a business seamlessly move its message across a country or even across the globe? How do we evolve from heavy physical postal logistics, literally carrying pieces of paper across continents, to the instantaneous digital routing we totally rely on today? Well, let's unpack that. Take a look at this number, 154,965. That is the mind-boggling scale of the Department of Posts in India. It's literally the largest postal network in the entire world. And what's really amazing is that over 149,000 of those offices are stationed in rural areas. That is a breathtaking logistical footprint, built specifically so that absolutely no one is left disconnected. To truly wrap your head around this scale, picture a dedicated postal worker operating right in the middle of this massive network. They are just one of roughly 588,000 employees keeping this giant engine running. On average, a single post office covers an area of over 21 square kilometers, serving about 7,750 people. It is the ultimate physical backbone of traditional business communication. And traditional physical mail relies on these very distinct manual categories. Imagine our postal worker again. First, they're sealing a highly secure, folded inland letter card that's strictly for domestic confidentiality. Then, they're sorting envelopes that hold vital things like checks and resumes. After that, they're moving over to stack these heavy, insured parcel boxes for safe transit. And finally, processing specialized book post packets. It's a highly, highly physical process. But wait! What happens when a massive corporation needs to mail out thousands of updates? Manual folding just isn't going to cut it, right? Enter the high-speed business post center. Here, everything changes. You've got automated machines stepping in, rapidly printing, collating, inserting, sealing, and addressing massive volumes of corporate mail just to meet those strict business deadlines. And for massive recurring financial communications, like those fun monthly account statements we all get, businesses use something called the bill mail service. But there's a catch here, and the magic number is 5,000. You have to send a minimum of 5,000 articles at once. Not only that, the business actually has to pre-sort all 5,000 of those bills by PIN code and bundle them up. It's a pretty brilliant way for businesses and postal services to share the logistical heavy lifting.
Now, moving beyond just physical letters and bills, the Postal Service does something else entirely. It acts as a massive conduit for financial communication. It serves as a literal bridge, securely transferring value and money between individuals. This is absolutely crucial in rural areas where traditional banking might be way harder to access, essentially turning the local post office into a vital financial hub.
And you can really see the transition from physical to digital right here. On one side, you have the electronic money order, or EMO. Picture a postman literally walking up to a rural front door and directly handing physical cash over to an elderly resident. Contrast that with the IMO, the instant money order. For that, you're looking at a computer screen showing a secure online dashboard, instantly transferring up to 50,000 rupees between two people in a flash.
It's pretty amazing because this setup is both completely global and highly local at the exact same time. Through partnerships with companies like Western Union, the Post Office facilitates instantaneous international remittances from 195 different countries straight into India. Meanwhile, on the local side, Retail Post lets citizens just walk right into their neighborhood office to pay electricity bills, collect taxes, or buy government forms. But hey, what if you want the best of both worlds? What if you want to send a physical letter, but you need it to move at the speed of the internet? Well, that's where ePost comes in. With ePost, a soft copy message is sent securely over the web. The destination post office receives it, prints it out, and then the postman delivers it as a physical hard copy. It literally bridges the digital transmission of data with the physical reality of last-mile delivery. Okay, fast forward fully into the modern era. Picture a specialized courier delivery van just speeding right past your standard mail truck. Private couriers have really stepped in to fill a very specific high-stakes business need for when time is of the absolute essence.
Because here's the deal. Unlike ordinary mail, these premium services, your DHLs, your UPSs, charge a flat rate to provide absolute, undeniable certainty. A driver hops out of the van, scans your premium package on a digital tracker, and gets that mandatory digital signature. That kind of end-to-end visibility and speed is exactly what modern businesses will gladly pay top dollar for. Now let's zoom out. Literally zooming all the way out from those physical delivery vans, we arrive at the ultimate matrix, the Internet. This staggering global system connects private, academic, and government networks across electronic, wireless, and optical technologies.
And, this massive web doesn't just run on magic. It operates seamlessly on a really strict set of protocols known as TCP/IP. Think of them as the rules of the road that allow for the instantaneous routing of data packets. This is what lets you access interlinked documents on the web and share files globally in milliseconds. It's the invisible infrastructure of our entire modern economy. Riding right on top of that global internet structure is, of course, email. It is the ultimate evolution of those folded inland letters and envelopes we talked about earlier. Today, it's the absolute primary method for exchanging mail, completely bypassing the physical postal network by keeping everything on electronic devices. And this completely flips the old logistical model on its head. Unlike a physical post office, email uses a highly efficient store and forward system. The second you hit send, servers instantly accept, route, deliver, and securely store the data. All of the logistics happen invisibly, in fractions of a second. Our sources highlight a quote that beautifully captures the ultimate convenience of this digital era. Neither the users nor their computers are required to be online simultaneously. Think about that for a second. You only need a brief connection to a server. We have completely unbound business communication from the constraints of time and geography.
So when you step back and look at this massive leap, from a postman walking to a rural door with cash, to a network of servers instantly routing an email across the globe, it really leaves us with a provocative thought. We've watched communication evolve from the purely physical to the hybrid to the purely digital. As these networks become even more instantaneous and interconnected, what entirely new, intangible networks are going to redefine the very nature of commerce tomorrow? It is a wildly fascinating space to watch. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.